All right, before I get into the actual conditional or logical operators, let's go ahead and look a little bit deeper into strings. Now, strings have a bunch of kind of helper methods and whatnot that we can do that will help us operate and work with strings in a more complicated manner. Primarily, for example, what I have printed out here is len for length. Let's just go ahead and run that. You'll see here it actually says 12. That's just because there's 12 characters in that string. Very simple, easy to use, easy to work with. But there's plenty of other things that we can do. We can go ahead and say A, which is the string that we've defined here already. And then let's go ahead and use the same operator we used to operate the index to access the indexes of lists. And we can put a range. Now ranges look like that. So let's go ahead and do 1 to 3. And let's run that. And you'll see it'll say EL because so what we're doing is we're saying we want to start at character 1, which of course is a 0-based index. So we're saying 0 is H, 1 is E, 2 is L, and then we're stopping at the last one, which is 3. So we're printing EL because those are the characters in those indexes. So you can see you can easily access specific sections of the string if you know the indexes that you're trying to get. So one of the other things that we can do is we can count. So let's go ahead and A is again, the string that we've defined. And let's go ahead and count, if I can learn how to spell, and we can count the character. Let's count the letter L. Let's go ahead and run that, and you'll see it'll say 3 because there's 3 letter L's in that string. Again, these are just kind of quality of life, kind of helpful methods that allow us to get around pretty easily without too much difficulty. So let's go ahead and take this upper one here, and let's go ahead and add a third number to it. So what this is doing is think of it as start, stop, and then skip. That third one is going to skip that many indices. So let's go ahead and run that, and you'll see it'll still say EL because we are skipping 1. But let's go ahead and set that to 2, and you'll see that it's just E because we're skipping 2 indices there. It's a little bit less common, but it's still something that could definitely be useful. Now, there's a couple tricks that you can do with this kind of stuff. For example, this is one that you should just learn and use. By leaving those empty, you will actually reverse the string. It's pretty cool, isn't it? There's no way to do that in a lot of low-level languages or high-level languages. So having this level of abstraction is actually really cool to have. The next thing would probably be kind of interacting with our string a bit. So let's just go ahead and print, but we're going to split at the space. You'll see here it actually prints what looks like a list. That's because it is a list. When you split, you create a list with all the pieces of the string. So what we've done here is we've split it at the space and basically turned this into a list of words that previously comprised our string. There's other things we can do. There's the starts with or ends with commands, or .upper, .lower. I'll show you a dot. I believe it is just upper. This is gonna suck if I'm wrong. There you go. Yeah, I wasn't wrong. So just upper, .lower, those do as you expect them to. Things like starts with, ends with, and a bunch of other string-based commands. Honestly, it's worth just going through it in your own time, learning about each and every one of these commands and becoming familiar with them, especially because if you're doing any kind of string manipulation, there are some pretty severe shortcuts in the pre-built methods here. Anyways, hope you learned something. Peace.